So that's awesome. So within one tool, you can kind of have a forecast of your future sales. You can place your PO to your factory, and you can organize your inbound logistics and see the data of that going into Amazon as well. And what's that tool called?
Hey guys, and welcome back to the official Sourcing with Kian YouTube channel. This is a channel which is going to teach you all about how to master the art of sourcing products from China. Today I've got a very special episode for you guys. My good friend Bradley Sutton of Helium 10 will be on the channel, and this is the first guest I've ever brought on the show, and I really wanted to bring Bradley in to discuss the new tools which Helium 10 are offering, but particularly how they relate to sourcing, because there's a lot of videos on YouTube which you can find which can help you how to use Helium 10 to improve your business, but I wanted to make one purely about sourcing because that's not really been talked about yet. Now, everything that we discuss in this video will be linked in the description below. So any of the tools that we talk about, if we mention the blogs, the podcast, any courses, webinars, free live training, all of that fun stuff, it's all going to be linked for you guys in the description below. And if you do want to try any of the tools, there's a special discount code for you guys as well. This is a way that you can get 50% off the tools, and you can also get free access to the Helium 10 Freedom Ticket course as well. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Feel free to check out the other videos that I've posted, which is going to teach you all about how to master the art of sourcing products from China, and they will look like this. So without further ado, let's see what Bradley's got in store for us. Welcome, Bradley.
So, hey guys, happy to introduce Bradley Sutton today. And it's nice that the tables have turned because usually you're interviewing me. I've done the podcast a couple of times. We did the Helium 10 Megathon. I've been to the office a few times. We've shot a lot of content together, but it's nice. This is the first time I get to invite you to the Sourcing with Kian YouTube channel, and you get to talk to the community. So super happy to have you. And yeah, so we just released a podcast recently, which I'm going to link below. Everyone can check it out. But before we get started, anyone in the Sourcing with Kian community and audience who doesn't know Bradley, he's very well known and very well respected within the Amazon community. He's literally the face of Helium 10. He speaks at events all over the world. He's a host of the podcast. It gives out a tremendous amount of value. Every time I sort of go into Facebook, I always see Bradley Sutton is live. Talking about some sort of like new tool, and it's always at crazy hours of the morning as well. Like for you, like it's like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. You're finishing webinars at like crazy o'clock.
Well, it's to make sure that we're still available for all my friends in Scotland and that part of the world there. I want to cater to them instead of just the American community too.
Absolutely, and we all appreciate it. So, guys, if you aren't connected with Bradley, definitely check him out on Instagram. He is H10 Bradley, where you get a lot of value. Definitely connect with him on Facebook, as well as all the Helium 10 YouTube and Facebook groups and channels. I'm going to link everything in the description below, as well as Bradley's personal details. So, thanks very much for coming on the show today. So I'm sure the majority of people listening know all about Helium 10, but for any first timers, how could you sort of describe Helium 10 and what it is?
Yeah, it's all-in-one software that can help Amazon sellers of many different kinds of selling and also many different parts of their journey. So when I say kinds of selling, some people think, oh, Helium 10's only for private label. No, it works great for private label, but if you're a wholesaler, if you're doing arbitrage, if you're a manufacturer, there's definitely tools that you can use. And when I say all in one, we have everything that can help with, with the logistics side. It can help with how you interact with your sourcing agents or with your suppliers. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Your keyword research, your financial analytics, A to Z, and then also, like I said, any different level. We have we just had a blog, which you also write on our blogs. Get great guest posts. But we just had an interview with somebody who was a brand new seller. Use our tools to sell out within 30 days of her very first product. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we've got billion-dollar companies like Spanx and Lego who implement Helium 10. The same helium. They don't have like some special Helium 10. They were using the same Helium 10 that brand new seller was using. So we try and be a little bit of everything for everyone.
Perfect. So I'm kind of losing track of all the new tools you guys keep launching because every time I get an email from Helium 10 or I log onto your YouTube channel, there's always a new tool. So do you mind like giving a quick summary of like what are the new tools, and in particular within these new tools, what can help with sourcing?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the newest ones that we've kind of like opened up to a lot more individuals is the ads, for PPC. It doesn't have to do with sourcing, but guys, You can have the best sourcing in the world, the best listing, but if you're not getting in front of people, with using PPC, all of that's almost thrown out. So that's the one that we're most happy with is like an all-in-one PPC management software. But the thing maybe we can talk about today is it's not a new tool necessarily. Like it's within our tool called Profits, but it's a system. So it's an inventory management system, and it really helps with not running out of stock, but also not having too much stock. And I'm very open with the mistakes I make, and a lot of people out there, especially since we're on YouTube, maybe you guys saw our Project X that we did, where we made a coffin shelf, we made an egg tray, and we showed you guys the whole journey. Well, it's kind of like my responsibility. Hey, this is a real product. I got to make sure it's PPC going to. I got to make sure I'm the one who orders it and stuff like that. And three times now, I've run out of stock of the coffin shelf because I really wasn't. Selling on Amazon's not my day job. Doing
Mhm.
this is like my day job here. And three times I didn't like calculate because I wasn't really keeping track. I'm like, okay, we've got 1,500 units. We're selling like 20 days. I think we're good. I think we're good. And 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 I calculated how much we lost, and it was over $25,000
For
in
being out of
sales.
stock.
Yeah, because of these stockouts. Because here's the thing, guys, on Amazon is if they're not married to your brand, they're searching. I'm just looking at my desk, just random things like tape measure. Now, this is a task force tape measure. I have never heard of that brand. Maybe that's a popular brand out there. But if I search tape measure and I don't see this product because it's not in stock, I'm not going to be like, hey, I got to wait a month because I really want that task force tape measure. So I'm going to wait a month for it to come back in stock. No, I'm just going to go to the next thing that I see. I'll buy whatever tape measure. So that means this company task force just lost my sale completely because I was out of stock. And that's what happened to us with the coffin shelf. There was a couple other coffin shelves out there. There's nobody who's like, oh, I gotta wait for that Project X coffin shelf to come back in stock. So I'm gonna keep my money. No, they gave their money to one of our competitors. So me personally, I definitely have learned the hard way. And I'm sure maybe a lot of you viewers out there, that's happened to you guys where you just miscalculate or sales just go way better than you thought and you run out of stock. And that results in thousands and thousands of dollars of lost revenue.
Mhm.
Um, so have you ever run out of stock? Something for the NBA, Kian, or
Yeah, yeah, because when a player has a good game, everyone's in demand of their product. In particular, in the recent NBA series, like Jamal Murray, he has a good game, then his sales go up that night. But if you didn't plan for him having a great series, then so yeah, it happens within like NBA or whatever line of business you're in.
yeah, it happens on Amazon, off Amazon. It's something that's important. And like you said, I don't think anybody could predict Jamal Murray, scoring 50 points, like a couple of times. So like there are things that you can't really predict.
Mhm.
You can only go so far with software or algorithms, and if you figure out something that can predict NBA players going off, well, you just have yourself an amazing tool right there that you can
Yeah,
make a lot
very
of
for Vegas. Yeah, yeah,
a lot of money with.
yeah.
But anyways, let me just see if I can share screen here
Perfect.
and just talk about in the profits the new tools we have that can help with the inventory management. So we've got first of all restock suggestions. Okay, so we have different models of forecasting because there's not any one that always works. Some people like to forecast based on last like 14-day sales velocity. Some people like to take a historical look at the market, all right, and what they did last year around this time of year, and then try and predict the peaks and valleys. Some people have other ways to do it. We offer that functionality where you can pick which model, which algorithm you want to use for your forecasting. So, if, like for example, here's one here. This is the coffin shelf I've been talking about. And right now it says it's in stock because I actually have two outstanding orders going on. But here's the model that it is using right here. It's saying that, hey, my velocity is about 30 units a day. By the way, guys, if anybody tells you that there's no more opportunity on Amazon, just take a look at this. We are selling 20 to 30 to 40 units a day of this little tiny shelf that's shaped like a coffin. You can sell anything on Amazon, guys. This is
Mhm.
ridiculous. Guys, this is live data. This isn't like some dummy data or something. So this is an actual product that's selling on Amazon. And I can see here, how much I have left in stock in Amazon. Oh my goodness, I only have 3 days left. I got to get some more inventory. Oh, but I have some more inventory on the way from my warehouse. I have I'm kind of like my own third party warehouse because behind my house I have a 2,000 square foot warehouse. I've got lots of units on order, from China, and this is how much I have total coverage. So here we can look at the forecast. You see, this right here is what the actual sales have been, and you could see this actually was. Oh yeah, this is one of those moments where I was out of stock for like a full month. Let me zoom in here. You could see my mistakes here. You could see twice, two big stockouts I had where sales went to zero. All right. Um, and then now it's back into stock. But you can see this forecasting model that I'm using is already predicting that, hey, this product is probably going to go up a little bit during the Christmas time. And also because of Halloween, perhaps. I'm not sure exactly what goes into this algorithm, but this is pretty probably a pretty good idea. And based on that, it's telling me, hey, you've got to the next time you order has got to be by this date because you're going to run out of stock on this date. So it's like goes really into depth here so that you don't, run out of stock. But at the same time, so you don't have too much stock because that also I mean, you're not going to lose $20,000, but if you got to pay like do you allow anybody to store at your warehouses at all, or do you just have your own stuff?
We only have our own stuff, but you're right. It can be costly for your cash flow if you over order and then you have to pay storage on the goods, and you've also had to pay your supplier dollars. You didn't necessarily have to pay them before you got paid by Amazon.
Hey guys, quick favor, if you are getting value from this video, please smash the like button for me real quick. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date of the latest of what's going on in China. And remember, if you do like any of the tools discussed in this video, they're all going to be linked for you in the description below.
Yeah, your money is tied up, that hurts your ability to scale because it's all in what we call sleeping inventory. But if you guys did like offer storage at your warehouses, you'd probably offer it for around what other people do, is just like $30 a pallet per month or something. And it adds up. If you over ordered, you've got like a full container worth that you didn't need. You got 20, 30 pallet spaces. You're paying like $600 a month for extra for no reason.
Mhm.
So what you can do is you can actually create your PO once you know that it needs to be ordered, and then so you can see here, like here's one of the orders right now that's on the way. So I created this PO and I sent it to Shenzhen. I can actually export to PDF and send it directly to my supplier. It's got my prices, and then each moment of the journey, I can change the status of this PO. Hey, it's in transit right now. This one's in transit to the warehouse. This is receiving at warehouse. It's received and then it's closed, and then it gives me a lot of visibility with my supply chain.
Mhm.
What's on the water, what's being produced, what just arrived, what's being checked in, and it's really great to each supplier. Every supplier, as you well know, has different lead times. Like what is like the fastest turnaround on one of your products and the slowest that you have? Like, because I'm sure it's different depending on the factory.
Sure, yeah, I've had anything between like fast, like 25 days, and slow, like 90 days. And it also depends on how busy the factory are as well. Running up to like Chinese New Year, like we are now, Q4, they're a lot busier now. Some of them aren't even accepting orders until after Chinese New Year, until like March next year. So, yeah, it varies a lot.
Yeah, so you can edit those information in, so that maybe you say, hey, I'm going to order 2 months of inventory, so I can wait until this time. But if it takes 3 months for them to produce it and to get it to you, well, you're still going to run out because you didn't take that into consideration. That comes into consideration here with how much we tell you to order because you put in here, the average amount of time that it takes. Now, once I actually create it, I can actually also here's the inbound shipments. This is everything that's coming to Amazon. I can actually create that right here. All right. I can create within the profits tool here the actual shipments in Amazon, either from my own warehouse or from warehouse in China, or supplier in China, supplier in India, wherever. I can create the shipments here and actually creates it in Seller Central for me. I just have to go to Seller Central to finalize, the details. But that's something that just like when they first told me about that, it kind of blew my mind. I didn't know we could do that outside of Amazon, but everything is here, and it's just kind of like what I think is the well, like was the last big missing piece that we needed to kind of get out there to help people with the whole supply chain
Sure.
aspect of Amazon.
So that's awesome. So within one tool, you can kind of have a forecast of your future sales. You can place your PO to your factory, and you can organize your inbound logistics and see the data of that going into Amazon as well. And what's that tool called?
That's it. The actual functionality is called inventory management, but you won't see like inventory management like as a button in Helium 10. It
Right.
resides within our profits tool.
Nice, nice, cool. So that's super useful. And then within that as well, you Helium 10 also released some new tools. Like I think at the beginning of the year, you had like Alta to help with cash
Yes.
flow, which can then help like finance your next orders as well. But the Alta, how's that going? Is that fully
That's
functioning?
that's going great. You know, we've had some people qualify for up to $1 million and more in credit line. So, I mean, what are the big problems that people have when they're scaling? Hey, I'm relying on Amazon's, funds or sales, but unless you invested like a huge amount originally and have a lot of cash on hand, you got to wait till you make your money back before you can order more products or launch new products. So we have a line of credit for Shopify and Amazon sellers where we take a look at your sales and then we pre-qualify you for certain amounts, very similar to Amazon lending, but it's a little bit more flexible
Mhm.
because like with Amazon lending, they say, hey, you qualify for $30,000. Well, I'm like, well, I don't really need $30,000. I only need 10,000. Too bad. That's what they're going to give you, and guess
Yeah.
what, you're going to be paying interest on that entire amount, even if you didn't need it and you're not even going to use it. It's just sitting in your bank on that entire amount. Now with Alta, what it does is like you qualify for 30,000, but you don't pay anything on it unless you actually take money out. So what's a supplier usually ask for upfront before an order in your experience? Like how much
Normally,
percent?
normally 30% deposit upfront.
Yeah, so let's say there's a $10,000 order. They're going
Right.
to ask for $3,000. Well, I'm not going to pull out the full $10,000. I'll pull out 3,000, pay the supplier, which you can also do within Alta, by the way. I'll talk about that in a second. But now I'm only paying interest on that $3,000. Now, like you said, you had a supplier who maybe takes 90 days to finish something. Well, 90 days later, I got to pay that $7,000. Well, now I can take another $7,000 out and I just saved 3 months of paying interest on money that I didn't really need to have. So
Mhm.
that's what's really helpful with that. We've got digital wallet. So a lot of sellers in the UK and in Europe, they're selling in Amazon USA, but they're like, I don't want to get an Amazon or an USA Bank and all this stuff. But you can create a digital wallet within Alta. You can get even daily payouts. Especially now as we're in Q4. Sometimes you got to make rush orders. Like, oh my goodness, I'm about to run out of stock, and Prime Day was just announced. It's going to be October 13th. I got to get like 50 boxes via air freight or something in. Well, you got to wait 2 weeks to get that money from Amazon. And so you just got to, it really can be limiting. But with the daily payout, we take a look at your sales and then we'll give you what you make that day. We'll go ahead and put it to your bank account every single day. So you don't have to wait for those 2 weeks. So we've got things like that. And then supplier pay in itself. So we have I think it's like 37 currencies you can pay your
Wow.
supplier in. So here's something I've always wanted to ask you. Tim Jordan talks about it, but he had basically said that one time he asked his Chinese supplier, he's like, "How much markup are you doing on my invoices because I'm paying you in US dollars?" And the supplier told him, "Oh, we're adding I forgot what it was, like 3% or something like that." But
Mhm.
in your experience, if you pay in US dollars, do you think that some suppliers also are marking it up because of that currency thing?
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like I've kind of figured out how to get around that because like sometimes it works in your favor if the RMB is strong against the dollar, and
Yep.
sometimes it goes against you as well. Like if they have to basically if they're going to receive less money if they get paid in US dollars, and then that sometimes they might charge you higher. But if you sense that that's happening, and if you follow the exchange rates, what I like to do, a lot of suppliers have bank accounts in Hong Kong as well, and when the exchange rate goes against them, like it is right now, they always say to me, "Hey, Kian, can you just pay into our Hong Kong dollar
Mhm.
account and we'll just keep the money in US dollars, and then when the exchange rate goes in our favor, then we're going to transfer it into RMB." But not all suppliers can do that because like the big factories don't need they're very like cash rich, so they don't need to
Yep.
like
Yep.
exchange it immediately. But some suppliers, maybe like a trading company who need to use your deposit to then pay the factory, don't have that luxury, so they might charge you a higher price.
Yeah, exactly. And with all those things you mentioned, we've got that as options with those. I mean, you can do it in US dollars, you can do it in Hong Kong dollars, you can do it in RMB, um, a bunch of currencies I'd never even heard of. I was like, this is a currency? Wow, interesting. But you you get your money from Amazon, however you get it, in dollars or whatever, and then inside your actual digital wallet, you can exchange it into these other currencies and then send it in their currency if that's what they want, or just send it in dollars. And sometimes that can save you a lot of money, especially if you're a bigger seller,
Mhm.
down the road, if they're giving you like a discount on that. We also help with getting your VAT. Like me personally, I mean, you're an expert, I'm sure, coming from Europe, but I have no idea what the heck, how the heck to manage
Yeah,
VAT. So to me, that's like a maybe that could be some kind of advanced metric for the NBA, and I don't know about it. Like value added free throws or something. I don't know. So I don't even know about how to work with VAT, but we'll help you with that with our Alta. So yeah, we've got a lot of new things that help Amazon sellers with different parts of the kind of like not too sexy parts of selling on Amazon. When
sure.
I say sexy parts, you're like, ooh, keyword research and product research, but
Yeah, yeah,
hey
yeah.
guys, you got to worry about your VATs, your taxes, paying suppliers, your inventory, because if you don't have those things on point, you're not going to be
Yeah.
very successful.
And every time I go on the Helium 10 website, I always see there's just so many more tools like there, like even the ones which from been there from the beginning, like Refund Genie and stuff like that, where you can actually get paid money back from Amazon using the tools. I mean, there's so many different tools available, but maybe you could talk a little bit about like what have been traditionally the most popular ones. And I know, like for me personally, I really like the magnet tool because like if I've got an idea for a product and I want to validate it, the keyword demand is there. I know that if enough people see it and I can launch this product, then it's going to be a successful product. So like the magnet tool is good. But then there's a lot of like product research tools, a lot of keyword research tools. Like what do you feel are like being the most popular ones?
I actually just did a poll in our Facebook group. I said yesterday, I was like, what's everybody's favorite tool? Like top three. And like almost every single person, the top three was like Cerebro, because hey, you can just enter in your own or anybody else's ASIN and then see where all of the keywords that they're ranking for, where are they all on page one? Where are they showing up really high on PPC? So it really gives you insight into where you're performing and where your competitors are performing, and even comparing the two of it so they can help you kind of hone your keyword research strategy. So that's probably the number one favorite tool that people have. Keyword tracker is important too because yeah, you get that information. You say, hey, I need to be on page one for these keywords. Well, how are you checking to see if your campaign is working? Are you going like every day? All right, let me go to this keyword and oh, there I am on page four. I mean, that it's tedious. And it sounds ridiculous to those of us who have been using keyword trackers, but I interviewed, I don't know if you know him, Varun from India,
Mm-hmm.
and he does like $4 million on Amazon India, and we just launched our tools in Amazon India,
Nice.
and we were joking that maybe I cost a couple of his employees jobs because he had two employees that all they did all day was all of his keywords and all of his products. They would manually go on Amazon India, find it, and then put it into Excel what position it showed up. But now that's not necessary because Helium 10 is doing all that. So keyword tracker and Cerebro, I think are two of the other than the ones I mentioned earlier, like PPC, are two of the top ones that we've got.
Nice. And then on top of all this, you've got all these tools for all these different aspects of the Amazon business. But to top it all off, you also have a Amazon course called the Freedom Ticket as well, which Kevin King has run as well. And how's that been for you guys?
That's been great. Freedom Ticket's been around for a while. Kevin King's amazing. It started off as separate from Helium 10. It's a $997 course. People can still pay $997 for it. But what we decided to do is we made a big investment where we're like, hey, we want to be able to gift this course to our Helium 10 members who are paying us for the software.
Mhm.
We're going to give them full access to this 900. We'll cover it for them. So
Mhm.
we have tens of thousands of students enrolled in there, and that's how a lot of people have been getting their initial knowledge to learn how to sell on Amazon.
Nice. I popped up on the training. I think I did one with Kevin a couple of weeks
Yep.
ago as well. So it's cool. I mean, and on top of all this, you've also got the podcast as well, which I believe is in like the top 100 business podcasts on
Yep.
iTunes as well. And then you've got the blog as well. So there's so many different tools and resources. So guys, I can't encourage you enough to. I'm going to link everything below to the blog, to the podcast, to all the tools, to Bradley's personal Instagram page if you want to go like harass him. But yeah, Bradley, thanks so much for offering so much value to the group. And are
It's
there
been a
any
pleasure.
closing remarks, regarding Helium 10 or regarding yourself? Like, how can people connect with you if they want to reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, just in general, or what I always like to say, because one of the things I keep hearing is, especially during 2020, is like, oh my goodness, maybe I shouldn't start selling on Amazon now. Or things are too crazy. I'm gonna wait till it settles down. Guys, the numbers we're seeing now are unprecedented because more and more people, because of the pandemic, are buying online than ever before. So it's never too late to start selling on Amazon. Don't wait. Do it now. This has nothing really to do with Helium 10. I'm just saying in general, guys, go out and figure out how you can sell on Amazon and then just do it because it's a great time to be a online entrepreneur. But if anybody has questions, you can comment here in the video and then I can come back, or like Kian said, H10 Bradley. Always feel free to slide into the DMs there. I love interacting with our users and answering some questions when I have time. And I give like some free tips and advice on that Instagram as well.
Awesome. All right, Bradley, thanks so much for being with us today. Really appreciate it. And I hopefully catch you again soon. All the best and take care in California.
Thank you. We'll see you later.
Ciao, ciao.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Remember, if you want to try any of the tools that Bradley had mentioned, they're all going to be linked for you guys in the description below, plus all the podcasts, blogs, webinars, and I'm going to link all the Helium 10 YouTube channel, Facebook group, which is a great community if you want to get access to a lot of insight and information from industry experts. So definitely check out all the links, which I'll be posting below. If you want to connect with me and my community, I've got a community on Facebook called Sourcing with Kian, which will pop up here. And that's just a community of over 3,000 people where we all just sort of help each other out with our sourcing practices. And if you're feeling a little bit more social and if you want to connect with me on Instagram, I am Kian_JG, which will also pop up here. So feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram and we can chat there. Thanks for tuning in today, and I will see you guys on the next video.